So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of our Team Lotus save here on F1 Manager 24. Now if you didn't watch the last episode, go and watch the season opener. That'll set you up for this episode beautifully. We started off in Sakhir in Bahrain, where we saw Max Verstappen winning the Grand Prix from Piastri and Lando Norris. P15 and P16, Dennis Hauger getting the better of his teammate on his F1 debut. Solid if unspectacular on the day. We were quite happy all in all, especially considering the financial situation that we are in at this moment in time, but we did make a big dent in that, and as we progress through the next few episodes, we hopefully will get back in the positive. Must be said, this weekend we do head towards Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and we've got 50 laps around here. Top speed and medium speed cornering, very important. This might not be the best race for us. Expected strategy normally is a one-stop on softs onto mediums or mediums onto softs, depending on which way you want to go. Just to bring you up to date quickly on the standings, obviously the drivers, we saw Verstappen winning from Piastri and Norris, so we're not going to dwell on that. Constructors wise, Red Bull got off to the best start, 36 points, 33 for McLaren, and Aston Martin had a very strong showing on the day. Team Lotus down in P9, didn't score a point on the day, but all that being said, I'm going to get through practice and I'll see you in qualifying for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So it could be difficult to even get out of Q1 here today. Hauger is green through the first and second sectors. We're hoping that he's going to put in a decent lap here. He's improving on his first lap by quite a distance, to be fair. DRS wide open. Where is that going to put Hauger? He goes P14 at the moment. Fittipaldi is on a flying lap as well. We're not too sure whether he's improving or not. It doesn't look at the moment like he is too much. Can he possibly get into Q2? It'd be ideal if he could. Like I said, this might not be the best Grand Prix for us this weekend, but we're going to give it everything we've got, especially with the financial difficulties. But where is Fittipaldi going to go as he comes across the line? Does he improve by enough? No, he doesn't. So Fittipaldi out, Hauger into Q2. Here we are then, final laps in Q2. Hauger at the minute in P16. I'm presuming I'm saying that right in Hauger. It's got to be Hauger. Holger? It's got to be Hauger, hasn't it? Hauger. He was green through the first sector, yellow through the middle. He'll do well to improve on P16, but to be fair, if he finishes above P20 this weekend, I think that is a decent result. Normally, you see in our F1 Manager saves, it's just constant progression. I think this year is going to be very different, as Hauger does in fact stay in P16 on that fresh set of soft compound tyres. So what we're going to do now is fast forward to the results of Q3 so we can show you the grid for Sunday's race, and it is a Red Bull front row lockout. Verstappen and Sainz locking out the front row. Verstappen on pole position, Piastri and Norris P3 and 4. Much better from Lawson, out qualifying Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. George Russell P7, Stroll P8, Bottas P9, and Gasly in P10. Let's have a look what the strategy's got in store for Sunday. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, split strategies for the second race of the season. Hauger, he's going to start on the soft compound tyre, go on to another set of softs before pushing hard on the mediums towards the end. So a two-stop race for Hauger, whereas Fittipaldi's going to run long on the hard compound tyres, hopefully get a optimal safety car timing, and then go on to the mediums towards the end. We have took some fuel out. We are expecting safety cars, so it's P16, P19. Let's get to 5 red lights.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. This could be an important race today for Lance Stroll.
Starting P8 is decent for them. Provided they keep the race clean, there's points on the table.
So let's see what today has in store, shall we? We're now moments away from this, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go, and straight away it's all eyes on Max Verstappen at the front, because he's got away well on the medium compounded tyre. Piastri, has he managed to get past Carlos Sainz? He certainly has. Piastri is up into P2 early doors. Meanwhile, Hauger is battling away, and he's 3 wide with the Toyota Haas, which actually has just been confirmed as of last week that Toyota in real life are going to be one of the main sponsors for Haas, rather interestingly. But Hauger and Porsche, P15 and P16, going at it at the moment, whereas Fittipaldi is just going to have to sit in behind Perez. He's Perez again. Alpine, Checo Perez down in P18. My word. But Dennis Hauger, P16 at the start. He'll take that. He's got Porsche in front of him on the soft compound tyres as well. But as we set off, Verstappen leads Piastri, and we've got the Lotuses in 16th and 19th.
Look at the replay.
Fittipaldi has just been overtaken by Checo Perez. It must be said, Checo Perez on the soft compound tyre and Fittipaldi on the hard. He's keeping pace with him quite comfortably. Checo Perez is not having a nice time in that Alpine at all, but he's having a lovely overtake there. But we've just had a yellow flag on circuit. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Zhou Guanyu has crashed on turn 27. Let's have a little look what happens here. So Fittipaldi, we can see that Checo Perez managed to get past Fittipaldi, and Zhou Guanyu pretty much explains it there. He's not had a very good moment there. He's coming to the pits after smashing his front wing up, I should say. But Hauger still in P16. He's just managing things now with Porsche. He's got the tyres back in the right window, and Fittipaldi equally 0.3 of a second behind Perez, but remember, running very, very long on these hard compound tyres. Now, Hauger is doing a very, very nice job here because he's just negotiating his way through this pack. He's now up to P12. We've not managed to get any of the highlights in because it's been too busy watching Perez and Fittipaldi overtaking each other. But Hauger is now in P12. And bear in mind, he's looking after the tyres beautifully. He's on a two-stop strategy today, is Hauger, so he can afford to push the tyres a little bit more than some of his competitors. This is working very, very well for Hauger at this moment. And if he can share DRS with Hülkenberg, we're not too disappointed with that. Working very, very well. It looks like the Kick Sauber wanted to have a go with Porsche, but doesn't, as he now gets DRS. Fittipaldi, it must be said, is doing okay as well. Just hanging on to the back of Checo Perez. Hard compound tyre, working very, very well. Lap 10, we're going to have a quick rundown because Piastri has burnt his tyres at the front. 58% he's on. Verstappen and Norris both on mediums behind in P2 and 3. Sainz is in P4. Then comes Russell 5 seconds back in P5. Leclerc P6. Stroll in P7. Lawson P8. Albon P9. Logan Sargent, ladies and gentlemen, is running in the points at this moment in time as we are going to watch Dennis Hauger overtaking Porsche. We can see the Kick Sauber there. He just, my word, did he get an exit off there? Got DRS as well. Got a great exit, rear wing wide open, and that's it. Théo Pourchaire has been dispatched, and Hauger is into P12. We've got the first cars in the Hauger train pitting, and it's Nico Hülkenberg onto a set of soft compounds. So we've got some cars that are going to be on the soft compound tyre today. A couple of times, and Hauger's one of them as well. He's just tucked in now behind Daniel Ricciardo, and again, the DRS fine. Everything's looking good from Hauger's point of view. Fittipaldi on the other hand, struggling to keep up with Checo Perez. Tsunoda behind him as well. They're sort of working in tandem at the moment to use the DRS and catch back up with Perez in front, but Fittipaldi doing okay at this moment in time. No concerns on lap 13. Like I say, first pit stops are happening as Hauger has just started to lose DRS on Daniel Ricciardo. Hauger is into the pits. There are a lot of pit stops happening at this moment in time, and Hauger is now in for his first pit stop of the day. Is it going to be a good one? We would expect good pit stops. 2.6 seconds is not bad at all. Where is he going to filter out? He should be in a nice bit of clean air. We've got the car in front. He's on medium compounded tyres. Hauger is onto another fresh set of softs. Hopefully that's going to bode well for him as Fittipaldi now just continuing on that hard compounded tyre. What has he got round him? Perez is just in front of him on fresh soft compound tyres. Hauger now out on to the softs as well. So decent pit stop from the team. He can now push at the start of this stint to get into the DRS and then push on again. Fittipaldi, a long way to go yet. Sainz is still leading, but a lot of cars coming into the pits as we see Sainz versus Verstappen, and Verstappen's rounding beautifully. Liam Lawson, different car, but my word, he's just had a crash with a Red Bull. Not quite sure which Red Bull it was, but he just got squeezed out there, and that has caused a bit of a problem, that, and a couple of cars got held up in it, especially his teammate Charles Leclerc. He's not going to be best pleased with that. in the Ferrari garage. There is much disappointment, considering this man here as well. Very, very upset. We've got yellow flags. It's not brought out a safety car. Fittipaldi, of course, running long here, holding a couple of cars up now. Hauger is on the bike of Perez and Ricciardo, so that's working okay now for him. We are just going to start topping up a little bit of ERS and possibly being a little bit lighter on the tyres as well, as he got really held up there, did Hauger. But this is okay at the moment. We're quite happy with the situation of both cars. Lap 21, we've still got a couple of cars yet to pit. Lawson has got a puncture and he's tumbling down the order. At this moment in time, we are going to tell Fittipaldi to be aggressive when he finally gets up to the back of Lawson. I'm guessing he's going to be up to the back of him very, very shortly as he comes around this left-hander onto the start-finish straight. Sorry, not onto the start-finish straight, onto the middle sector. You can see there, Liam Lawson, he's got to get past him. High aggression. Come on, Liam. Come on, Fittipaldi. Get past him. And he does get past him rather well. It must be said, Lawson trying to get out of the way. Has he caused any problems for the cars behind? He certainly has. Fittipaldi's pulled away a little bit there. That's worked well for him. As Hauger now tagging onto the back of Perez. And they're going to be coming up to Lawson very shortly. Lawson is just dropping down the order. We've just swapped the cars as Hauger got up to the back of Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi is running his own race, but doing it very, very well at this moment in time. Hauger is now just out of the DRS of Daniel Ricciardo. We are going to push him to get back in that as Perez managed to get past Fittipaldi. Remember, Fittipaldi only on a one-stop, so we're quite happy with how Fittipaldi's race is going at this moment in time as we're now pushing Hauger on. But we're now going to have a full rundown. We're just coming up to 50% race distance. Verstappen is leading from Carlos Sainz, who's 6 seconds back. Then comes Piastri, Leclerc and Norris. Stroll in P6, Russell P7, then Albon, Ocon and Sargent make up the top 10. Hauger is in P13, Fittipaldi in P15, but Hauger's now back in the DRS of Daniel Ricciardo. Hauger has got Daniel Ricciardo. Now they're exchanging places all the time here, but what it must be said is we are not that far behind the points paying positions here, and if we get this final pit stop right and possibly try and undercut, who knows where we could end up. P12 now for Hauger, as you can see on circuit. He's only 2.2 seconds behind Hülkenberg as he just gets overtaken by Ricciardo again. And then only a further 2 seconds back from Ocon. Could we possibly get a points paying position today? This middle stint is really starting to cause problems to Hauger. I'm not quite sure what happened. I think he just got squeezed out into turn one. And then what happens is he loses a lot of time on the cars in front of him. But Pierre Gasly, beautiful work in that Aston Martin, now up into P13, I believe that is. Hauger is in P14 and he's lost the RS of Gasly. He didn't get a good run out of there and he's starting to drop down the pack a little bit, which is frustrating. Fittipaldi in P18, still not made his one and only stop yet, but he's getting a nice helping hand of DRS at this moment in time. We've held out as long as we possibly could. There has been no safety car and Fittipaldi is coming into the pits. We are going to tell Hauger to start conserving some fuel now as well in these laps so he can full push towards the end of this Grand Prix. But Fittipaldi is in to the pits. We were going to go on to mediums, but he's looked after those tyres so well. We have gone on to softs towards the end. So Fittipaldi now is going to be racing Vesti. If he finishes above P20 today, he will get a decent bonus for the team. So we're quite happy with that. Obviously, Hauger's doing better than that at the minute. It's going to take a lot for him to get up towards the points, but you never know. You never know what can happen. Bottas is out for the rest of this race now. He's in P12, but Fittipaldi now, he can get these tyres up to temperature and then really get this car home, hopefully not losing any positions, whereas Hauger is going to be racing right until the very end. Verstappen is still leading. The gap to his teammate is now 12.5 seconds up top. I can't believe what I've just witnessed, because Vesti is with Fittipaldi, and what happens here? Vesti forces him wide. I am penalising Vesti for that. And I'm guessing it looks like there might have been another incident on track, because the Kick Sauber team are very much not happy. We're very much not happy because that could have cost us quite a bit of money, as we've got suspension front wing. We've got a lot of damage with Fittipaldi, so he's going to start costing us more money again this season as we look to replace the wing as well. Are we still going to get P20? It might be a bit of a push, but Hauger now, P14 at this moment in time, he's going to be pitting into a 3 laps time. And just to show you who was at fault, Vesti was at fault and has been given a 5-second penalty as we are removing that front wing. getting a new front wing on. This doesn't look the worst pit stop in the world for, and to be fair, they magic the tyres onto it as well. You don't see that every day. It must be said, Vesti is going to have to come in for another pit stop. We might still get P20 with Fittipaldi today. Hauger on the other hand, P13, still pushing on. And that's pretty much where we are. We're expecting him in a couple of laps time onto the medium compound tyre to finish. A couple of the two stoppers coming in, such as Leclerc, as we can see out on the fresh medium compounded tyre. And there we are, lap 34, P13 and P21. We have just had a lockup from Hauger on his in lap, which is not ideal. Fortunately, he didn't damage the car, which is the most important thing. It was just purely a lockup. Fittipaldi now, we are just going to tell her to calm down on the tyres. But yeah, not that ideal for Hauger. It's probably just took him out of points paying position contention as Porsche's into the pits as well. He's going to be well behind Hauger. But now we are looking for the undercut from Hauger as he comes out on these medium compounded tyres. What can he do on these with 15 laps to go, all to play for? Undercut could be huge. Oh, and if we had left it just a couple of laps longer with Hauger, which we probably could have done if he'd not done the lockup, but it's Logan Sargent in the Haas. It must be said Logan Sargent was doing very, very well in this Grand Prix, and then he's just locked up. He's smashed into the barriers. He doesn't know what happened. I mean, he's crashed enough time to start knowing what's happening to him, bless him. But Logan Sargent into the wall. The Haas team not best impressed at all. That's going to take him down. It's going to actually gain us a position with Hauger as well, and also Fittipaldi, which we're rather happy about. So we've got Ocon in front of us on used soft compound tyres. Ricciardo also, you'd suggest that he's going to pit again. Hauger's in a decent position here as he's just getting his fuel back intact, which is going to serve him well, and his battery, so he can push on even further. Fittipaldi, we know, has got some minor suspension and chassis damage, but we're quite content with that at this moment in time. So we'll be back when we're back to green flag running. 5 laps to go. Lance Stroll has just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Verstappen is leading from Lando Norris. Piastri in P3. Sainz is in P4, but on a fresh set of soft compound tyres, he's chasing down the two McLarens. Max Verstappen must be loving having a teammate that can actually fight at the front with him. Fittipaldi, we're just going to push on. It looks like he's got P19 sewn up, but why oh why not try and attack Liam Lawson in front of him? I'm sure he'd quite like to do that as well. Hauger, we are 2.4 seconds behind Tsunoda. We could possibly get Tsunoda. We aren't going to get Ocon by the end. But lap 45, 5 laps to go. It's Verstappen's race to lose, but Hauger could possibly get another couple of positions. This battle is going to rage on to the very end, and it's Hauger against Tsunoda. He's managed to catch him on these medium compounded tyre, and that is a nice move round the outside from the rookie driver. Beautiful work. Beautiful looking car as well. The car looks very nice at night, I think, this Lotus car. Let me know what you think of the livery down in the comments, and also what you think of the new Aston Martin livery as well, which we've managed to get on for this race, which is a Valkyrie looking livery, which Lance Stroll is sporting very well up in P5 at this moment in time. Verstappen's not far off getting onto his last lap of the Grand Prix, but Hauger versus Tsunoda promises to go to the very, very end. Final lap of the Grand Prix then, and as we can see, Max Verstappen, he's coming around the final couple of corners. He's got this all sewn up. He's going to win the second race out of 2, but it's all eyes on Hauger versus Tsunoda, because this is what matters now, because if we can get this done, it would be absolutely ideal. And he manages to get past Tsunoda on the final corner of the final lap. The run up to the line will be interesting as Tsunoda gets DRS, but it is not enough, and Hauger is going to come home in P15. That's a very, very good result for the Lotus driver. Fittipaldi has burnt his tyres trying to catch Liam Lawson. He's not quite managed to do it, bless him. But as he's coming round, I mean, how far back is he? Is he 2 laps? No, he's only 1 lap. Fittipaldi, I think he could have possibly done better. That crash has obviously set him back quite a lot. He'd have probably been a couple of positions higher. We'd have maybe been looking at 17th, possibly. We certainly would have finished in front of Liam Lawson, who, we've got to be said, has not had a sparkling start to his Ferrari career. But Fittipaldi will come on P19. He'll get some bonus money for the team, which is also important. And let's get to the podium here in Saudi Arabia.
Max Verstappen can add yet another podium to his already impressive record.
What an excellent way to take a second win of the season with a composed performance today.
It's a very quiet podium in Saudi Arabia, so Max Verstappen, as we can see, winning the Grand Prix. 2 McLarens close by him in Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Carlos Sainz got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Red Bull in P4. Leclerc was in P5. Stroll, decent showing in P6. Russell P7. Gasly in P8. Albon in P9 and Bottas in P10. You have to go a bit further down to see the Lotus drivers in Hauger and Fittipaldi. Disappointing from Lawson again. 13 positions lost on the day. Just one DNF. Oh dear, Logan Sargent. Another season, but not everything changes. Driver standings wise, Verstappen is top. It's a perfect record. 2 wins, 2 races for Max Verstappen. Piastri in P2 and Norris is in P3. Sainz P4, Leclerc in P5. At the moment, neither of our cars have scored any points, but I'm sure that's going to change towards the second half of this season. Constructor standings wise, Red Bull are top on 74. McLaren are second on 66. And then it's Aston Martin, Ferrari and Mercedes in P3, 4 and 5. Alpine, RB, Haas, Lotus and Kick Sauber yet to score a point this season. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 races. Let me know how you think we're doing. Of course, we know that we've got a lot of work to do on this car, and as soon as that money turns into the black and we get into the positive, we can start looking to spend a little bit of it. But stick with us. We're going to come good. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra.